So here's the thing. I always struggle making videos on YouTube because I never really know what to talk about. And to me, making news related videos is a disadvantage and not really something I always looked up and wanted to do, because doing a video in and out of itself is very complicated. And doing a video that basically expires in a matter of days never really seemed very interesting to me. But I know that I want to upload weekly, so I started this. This is a weekly roundup. So basically what happens is I'm going to talk about what happened during this week using the panels I upload every day basically on Instagram. And I hope you all gonna like it. It's basically a resume of everything that I've done this week, everything that I've posted this week. So let's start. Logan Paul wants to fight Chris Hemsworth after fighting Mayweather. That was very random, but knowing Logan Paul and the Paul brothers, that wasn't very surprising. So basically what happened is, on Instagram, Batman Boxing at Batman Boxing hashtag Garcia Campbell posted a video of Chris Hemsworth working out and basically boxing. And to that video, Logan Paul answered, "I'll fight him after Mayweather," which sparked the internet because every time Logan Paul does a declaration like this, it's always followed by actions that actually show that he is very serious. Logan Paul is the kind of public character that basically gets more fame, clicks, and media limelight when he does a stunt like this. So him trying to fight Chris Hemsworth is absolutely not surprising. So yeah, it's not surprising if you yourself never learned about this news, but yeah, he really wants to fight him. Next news. A live-action Rubik's Cube movie is in the works. So this news confused the hell out of me because I was like, what the hell is a live-action Rubik's Cube? Like, I think it was THR who broke that story. The fact that that was the headline that I basically copy and pasted confused the hell out of me. What the hell does that mean, live action Rubik's Cube? Because Rubik's Cube is, that game, that cubic game that exists in real life. So what does that mean, having a live action movie about it? It was very confusing. Honestly, I read about it. I read the article and I still did not understand what it was going to be about. I when I posted that news, my caption said, "What is even life? I don't know what life is at this point. They make movies about everything." What is funny though is the fact that people on Twitter blame Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and one of these two directors basically answered and replied that you can make a good movie about anything, stop blaming us. So that was basically their tweets. I don't remember what they said, but that was very funny. So yeah, a Rubik's Cube movie is in the works, so be patient and you'll have it. Next news. Wonder Woman 84 director Patty Jenkins praises Taika Waititi and calls Thor Ragnarok one of the best Marvel movies of all time. I honestly agree with her. If you don't know, I really love the new Thor. I know he's not very comic book accurate. I know I have a friend called Max who's a huge fan of the Thor comics, who hates what Marvel has done to Thor. I love Thor Ragnarok. It's my favorite movie, and it's also Quentin Tarantino's favorite MCU movie. So a lot of directors are coming out saying that they enjoy this film above all the MCU movies. And I totally agree. I mean, comment about what you think about this movie, but I personally love this film, and I'm not surprised. So yeah. Next news. Chloe Zhao, the director of Marvel's Eternals, thanked Marvel Studio for helping her make the movie she pitched, and that was so beautiful. Coming up in the next weeks is basically a video essay about my love for Wonder Woman 84, and in it I talk about the fact that there's a problem with OK movies. Too many OK movies in Hollywood right now. It's been going on for a while. There's even like video essays about it, but basically there are too many movies that are basically crafted to be movies that the mass audience loves. and therefore they are not, they are more like corporate objects more than movies sometimes. And I was fed up. Few years ago, I was totally 100% fed up with these kinds of movies. And basically, yeah, I'm so happy because that means she really, and she said this in an interview. Basically, she explains the fact that the movie she pitched is the movie she directed and the movie she made. And she thanked basically Kevin Feige and everybody at Marvel Studios for making that happen. And that is amazing. And I 100% agree with her. It's an amazing accomplishment in Hollywood right now, doing a big budget movie and having that creative overview and that power, especially for women, an immigrant. I know some people don't like when I say that, but it's true. Like, when you come to America, I've known that experience myself, and you try to work in the industry and you don't speak English very well. But that was my case. I'm sure she speaks English perfectly fine, but it's complicated and you have to navigate through so many elements that are not things that are, things that you deal when you do a movie in your own country. So yeah, very proud of that. Moving on. Next news. Actually, it's a fact. It's a fact that was made public not so long ago. I don't think it comes from last week. I think it comes from 2 weeks ago, but it's so interesting. I'm gonna talk about it. Game of Thrones. HBO lost half of its adult 18 to 49 linear audience in 2020. It's crazy. That basically means that people after Game of Thrones were like, yeah, that was cool while it lasted, and now I'm out. And they just canceled their subscription. And now you understand why there's a huge push to basically gain that audience back with shows like Euphoria, who are basically made for that audience. And yeah, that is very surprising. Half of it I was expecting like 30%, up to 40%, but like half of it is absolutely terrifying. If I would be an executive, I would be shitting myself seeing these numbers, to be honest, because this is the audience people want. Because under that, they don't have any money power, so they don't invest money immediately. They will invest money in the future if they really like your brand. But 18 to 49 is what you want. 18 to 30 is what you want, because these people not only invest money right now, but they will invest money in the long time too, because they are quite young. And also they recommend and dictate what happens on social media. So you really want that audience, and the fact that half of it was gone, it's I don't even have words for it. It's crazy. So yeah, moving on. WandaVision will be 9 episodes long. So I'm going to talk about WandaVision again. So I'm going to jump over that news, but because there are other news related to WandaVision. But yeah, it's going to be 9 episodes long. It comes out this week, I believe. It's going to be great. I'm going to debrief the show, so follow me on this account if you want to know what I think about it. Moving on. Oh my god. That was such a crazy thing. So basically, Tanya Roberts is still alive, despite her rep saying she was dead yesterday. So if you are not on Twitter, you have no idea how crazy that was. So basically, it was like 8 days ago. Yeah, 8 days ago, Tanya Roberts was announced dead. She was a James Bond girl. She was in that 70s shows. She was 65. Everybody was quite sad. It was truly inspiring. I didn't post about it because I couldn't believe it. And actually, I was right, because the day after that, or 2 days after that, she was photographed walking her dogs. And basically, her rep said that she was alive and they thought she died. And it was just the craziest thing, and everybody was like, yo, 2021 is gonna be as crazy as 2020. And that was incredible, because I was like, yo, because it's not like TMZ who said that. It was her representatives, the people who actually can call her, and the people who actually talk to her to get her jobs in Hollywood. It's crazy. Jumping on to the next news. Jared Leto promises Morbius will be a big, fun popcorn film. So not much to say about it. He basically did a whole interview talking about Morbius and his upcoming projects, and he said that it was going to be a fun popcorn movie. When I hear that, honestly, I don't want to watch the movie. When somebody says it's going to be a big fun popcorn movie, I think about Brenton Thwaites saying that about Gods of Egypt. And I've seen Gods of Egypt on TV. I didn't even pay for it, and I regretted it. And I don't want to. I honestly, like, that disappointed me a little bit. I mean, I hope he's wrong. I'm gonna wait for the reviews to come out, but like, I'm always 100% disappointed when somebody says that. That means they're not aiming high. I don't like it. Might be me, I'm sorry. Probably the movie I will end up liking it. I mean, I like Wonder Woman 84. Everybody hates it. I feel like it feels like everybody hates it. So jumping on the next news. Oh my god, this one really broke my heart, but was so understandable. Rowan Atkinson does not enjoy playing Mr. Bean anymore. So basically, he did an interview about upcoming project, about his life, and he said that, I don't much enjoy playing him. The weight of responsibility is not pleasant. I find it stressful and exhausting, and I look forward to the end of it. And he also talked about the fact that he is looking forward to playing Mr. Bean in animation because it requires less, and it's less pressure for him. And I 100% understand. Everybody in every country knows Mr. Bean, and basically, if they do a bad movie, everybody's gonna talk about it. And in the especially in 2021, where the vitriol is so present on social media, I honestly, I understand them. The pressure must be gigantic. Mr. Bean, I saw a fact about Mr. Bean. There's only like 20 episodes of the original show, something like that, like under 40. But everybody knows them and has watched them so much. Everybody that I've talked to says, no, there must be more. And actually, no, there isn't. It's just the sketches are that fucking iconic. And this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. This show is incredible. The character is incredible. And I 100% understand what he's feeling like. And I hope one day he will feel less pressured to play it. So jumping on to the next news. Oh yeah. So CD Projekt Red released a game at the end of 2020 called Cyberpunk 2077, and it has had one of the most disastrous launch I've ever seen in my life. Actually, the most disastrous launch I've ever seen in my life. It's awful. It's bad. And basically, last week, one of the final nail on the coffin was that basically we learned that 79% of its player base on Steam is gone, and in comparison it took The Witcher 3 months to read that same decline. And people have been trying to explain it and to quantify it, and basically the fans say, oh, you know, it's okay because The Witcher was 50 hours and Cyberpunk is 20 hours, so it's normal that it takes a shorter amount of time to complete it, and it left the game. But here's the thing, Cyberpunk was, especially for a title like this, there are much shorter titles like Spider-Man who haven't known that kind of decline, so like, it's still a really bad news. And I'm afraid it's not the only bad news that's gonna come out of Cyberpunk 2077, because that launch was just awful. So yeah. Another bad news. Doctor Strange 2 halts production amid UK lockdowns. So basically, that was the most awful thing that happened last week. Oh my god, 2021 already. UK has issued a very strict lockdown, and basically all the productions there are shut down. And it's funny because I have lots of friends who live in Britain, and they have told me that nobody wears a mask anymore. Everybody's fed up. People want bars to reopen, and it's not gonna get better unless the vaccine gets really there quickly. But it's not gonna get better. Another news. Cyborg has been written out of the script of The Flash, and the role will not be recasted. The whole way Fisher story is just sad, and honestly, I feel so bad for him. His first movie, he had such a huge excitement for the character. I hope he's gonna come back. I'm not even gonna comment on the whole situation. It will take another video, and I think the video is already like reached at least like 16 minutes. It's just sad. There's an entire story behind it. Go on my Instagram to learn a little bit more about it, and yeah, it's sad. Zack Snyder reveals his first look at his zombie heist Netflix movie, Army of the Dead. So this film was really anticipated by Zack Snyder's fans, because it's a Zack Snyder movie. Funny thing, in that picture, you can see, actually in my Instagram I cropped it, but in the full picture you can see actually the cameo of like the movie of the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, because he made a reference to that anyway in the movie. Anyway, in his new movie he made a reference to that. It's anyway. He also said about the movie, it is a balls to the wall zombie heist movie, so it's gender on and in great way. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, I misread it. I just it's gonna be great basically. Another news. So last week I got really political according to some people, and I posted about the fact that Twitter basically exploded because people have raided the Capitol in Washington DC, and I made news about like Trump, and I posted videos and photos about the Capitol raid. It's tragic. I posted the news about Obama saying that the riots are a shame for our nation. It was very shameful. It was disgusting, and I don't really want to talk about it. But if you want to see it, want to talk about it, it's in my Instagram. Go there. It was very shameful. Next news. A Ready Player One sequel is in the works. It's gonna be called Ready Player 2, and it's gonna be adapted from the book of the same name. Not much to say. Again, it was predictable. Basically, Ready Player 2 came out last year or the year before. Actually, hard to say because of COVID. I don't know what is time anymore, but basically not so long ago Ready Player 2 came out as a book. People didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it, and they're gonna make a movie about it. Next news. The cinematographer attached to Marvel's upcoming Moon Knight series confirmed Oscar Isaac's casting. So yeah, we already knew he was gonna play the character, but now he's full on confirmed by somebody of the team. So yeah, no Shia LaBeouf on this one. Oh my god, don't even get me started on Shia LaBeouf. WandaVision. Next news. WandaVision rated TV PG, a lower rating than other Marvel Studio production. Yeah. It was predictable because it's a family sitcom TV show. It's absolutely predictable. Nothing. Some people were mad. They were saying that it's another jokey MCU movie, MCU project. I'm like, yeah, of course. So actually, there are so much news coming. I'm gonna divide that video in two. The first one I'm gonna post today. The other one at the end of next day. So thank you for following. I have still a bunch of news from last week to comment, but I don't have time for that. So thank you a lot, and see you on Geek and Great News. And thank you again. And I'm gonna talk about WandaVision in the next video. So stay tuned. And thank you a lot again.